Oh, we are so excited. Today, we're going to have some great conversation. I've got Jordan here with us with Live Oak Bank. Janet, thank you so much once again for putting together this amazing interview with one of our vendor partners here at the Blue Collar Success Group. Remember, the Blue Collar Success Group, coaching and training organization for contractors, but we've got a whole part of our business that allows us to connect you with super talented vendors that you can leverage and use to grow your business. And today, I'm excited to talk money and banking. We have Jordan on. Jordan, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm excited to be here. So I appreciate you all having me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jordan, for joining in, being the expert, because when it comes to banking, a typical entrepreneur, business owner has a relationship with some local bank in their local market. I know personally, Jordan, my hometown, the bank account that I started open was a small bank called Community Trust. And Community Trust was, I could walk in and everybody knew me by first name, but that company got
hmm
bought out. I still bank with that company today in addition to other banks. But what I've learned, Jordan, is banking truly is a relationship. So maybe tell me, Jordan, a little bit about Live Oak Bank and the relationships that you guys have established over the business life cycle.
Yeah, for sure. So Live Oak Bank, we're a very large bank, publicly traded bank located and headquartered here in Wilmington, North Carolina. So if you go to Myrtle Beach and you drive about an hour and a half north, you run into us right on the coast. So we're right here. We've got what we call a branchless business model. So we have this one location here in Wilmington, but we provide loans in all 50 states for business owners. Really, how we're able to do that and how we're able to create different relationships like we have with you all is that we have industry specific lending teams at the bank. So we have a team at the bank that lends to veterinary companies, dental companies, funeral homes, self storage, about 35 different industries specifically. But my team at the bank, it's myself and two other guys. All we do is lend to the home service space. So we focus on creating relationships with folks like yourselves because we can relate to each other. We speak the same language. I understand what contractors are talking about when they're telling me they're going through some sort of seasonality, or they're telling me, hey, I do service repair replacement work. I'm a construction company. We know the industry, so it helps us form relationships, which is really what we enjoy a lot. So that's a differentiator between us and a lot of other banks.
Great. Thank you, Jordan. And let me distinguish the difference of you guys are not a lender that a contractor would sign up to provide lending to the end user homeowner, but your customer is truly the end user, is the business owner entrepreneur. Is that correct?
That is 100% correct. We help business owners grow their company, whether it's through acquisition, acquiring real estate, obtaining working capital. We help business owners grow.
And really quick, one of the cool things is for those that are watching this recording, whether it's in social media or in our email marketing or some other channel, banking doesn't have to be boring. I got super excited when we got on here with Jordan and we started talking about some of the things that Live Oak Bank is doing to really help the industry. Jordan, I know it might sound a little bragging, but why don't you let everybody know what you shared with me about some of the stats and things before we hopped on here? Why don't you just share them to understand the magnitude of what you guys are capable of?
Yeah, so we as a bank, we've been in business since 2013 or 2008. We went public in 2013. Our team specifically, the home service team here at the bank, has been around since 2019, and we have been the nation's number one SBA lender lending to home service companies. So we've been the top lender in the U.S. And then also the bank as a whole has been the top SBA lender by dollar amount for the last 4 years.
So
So we
let me.
really
So what
good.
you're saying, Jordan, is this ain't new to you guys. You guys are really good at what you do.
We've been doing it for a long time. We're a preferred lender with the SBA, meaning we don't have to go back and forth to get loans approved with them. All of our approvals, closing, and fundings are done in-house, and we really pride ourselves on knowing how to streamline people through the SBA process.
Speaking of that, Jordan, I'd like for you to just address because, once again, I started talking about my local relationship that I've got with my local bank. Tell me a little bit about the difference between, hey, Jordan, I got my money tied up in, this
Mhm.
bank in my local market. I'd really rather use them than you guys. What's the advantage there or the pluses and minuses, if you could?
Yeah, so I think there's really a couple things. I think the first one is contractor might have a great relationship with their local bank. And I don't want to take that away from them. I think banking is very relationship driven. But whenever you go to your local bank and you're trying to get a business loan, your local bank doesn't have a specific focus on the home service space. They might look at a car wash company. They might look at a veterinary company. They might look at a fitness center. And then they got you, the heating and air company that comes to them and wants to get some sort of loan. Well, if they can't get comfortable with your industry or don't really know the nuances to your industry, they might push you away, right? So where at Live Oak, we take a niche focus on the space. We understand that your business might go through some seasonality. So it's helpful if you come to us and you're having a downtime from December to March. We already understand the reasoning. You don't have to go explaining your financials to us. So I would say that's one major thing that separates us. I think the second big thing is that if you go to your local lender, a lot of times they do collateral based lending. So what that means is if you're an HVAC company and you go and try to get a loan with your local lender, the first thing they're going to say is, what kind of collateral do you have to secure that loan? So do you have a bunch of houses to pledge? Do you have a bunch of money to put down? And if you can't collateralize that loan, they're going to push you away. Where at Live Oak Bank, we don't take a collateral lending approach. We take a cash flow based lending approach. So we say, okay, even if you don't have collateral to fully secure a business loan you're looking to take out, how can your business cash flow historically support the loan you're looking to take out? And if your business is successful and you've shown previously that you could support the new loan payment, that's how we'd get you approved. You don't have to fully secure the loan. You don't have to pledge a bunch of properties or put a bunch of money down. That's the basis of our loan approval. So I would say those are the two main differences between us and a local collateral-based lender.
And Jordan, so man, thank you so much. We're talking about what might not necessarily be the sexiest conversation around the business and growing my business, but really it is. It's about creating the opportunity to have access to working capital around things like, hey, we had a down month, or hey, I've got this cool opportunity that I can take advantage of. Now we're saying today, hey, I want to go get a loan. If I need access to money pretty quickly, typical loans aren't going to happen very quickly. Tell me a little bit about Live Oak Express and what that does to change the game for contractors.
For sure. So yeah, like you said, previously when people want to go get a working capital loan, they'll typically go to the online solutions where they'll go online, they'll get a year term, weekly payments at 30% interest rate, something like that, which can be really tough on a business owner, not even just a contractor, just a business owner in general. Which we understood that people want their working capital quick. So what we've done at Live Oak is we've created a full team that's dedicated specifically to small dollar loan amounts. And I say small dollar, but I put that in quotes, $500,000 or less. So now, previously, whenever I was doing a working capital loan, it would take me about 6 weeks to get a deal done. Way too long for a contractor who wants money. So we identified that and we went and hired this full team. So now we can provide these working capital loans that are fully amortizing 10-year term loans, no prepayment penalties, no collateral requirements or anything like that. And we can get those closed and funded in a max of 14 days.
Wow.
So reasonable interest rates, I would say interest rates right now are at about 11 to 11.5%. So yeah, it seems high based on where we're at in the market, but when you compare it to the 25% to 30%, you're saving a bunch of money when you get that type of loan out.
And according to what you're saying, though, Jordan, is that also very much like a signature loan as well? Unsecured?
It is. Yep.
I mean, listen, folks, you're hearing it right now from Jordan. Many of you, I can see this from clients that we work with that maybe have overextended themselves, or maybe they're in a strategic situation where they're trying to buy down some stuff with interest rates, or more importantly, they want to go get a line of credit to be able to help build and grow the business. No matter what your challenge is, the answer is positive cash flow is king, and having access to cash is king. And so, Jordan, thank you so much for sharing all of this with us. And let's kind of dive into some of the technical stuff. What exactly are you seeing that contractors are using working capital for?
Yeah. So I would say a lot of times what I see the most are folks who want to grow their company and want to invest in hiring, want to hire some new techs, hire some new folks. And with that, whenever you hire a new person, you've got to train them. You got to train them, 3 months at least before you send them out in the field to generate revenue. So that's an expense to you. So people don't want to use the cash on their balance sheet. So they'll take out a working capital loan to help fund that. And then once they get their person out there generating revenue, they'll pay the loan back. So I'd say that's one thing. And another thing is investing in trucks. They want to go out and acquire a couple trucks. We can do that. And then Another one would be marketing. You want to invest in some sort of rebrand, or you want to invest in some sort of marketing plan. People are taking out working capital loans for that too. And then also, I think aside from that, whenever you're thinking about a small dollar working capital loan, people are growing through acquisition with these small dollar loans. So you have an existing company who mom and pop shop up the road wants to sell their business for $100,000, and you think it's a good opportunity for you. People are taking out small dollar loans for that too. So I would say
And
those are all very common ways people are growing with working capital loans.
And Jordan, it's funny you say that. That now for the fact of if I have a conversation through an acquisition and I'm serious and they're serious, I mean, based on what you're saying in the process is they can get access to that money within sometimes as low as 3 days up to 14 days. And now I've got working capital to go make this acquisition to make that deal go through. Man, that's so powerful. What do you think? Maybe Jordan, tell me a little bit about like what would be my first steps of gaining access to a capital loan with Live Oak Bank?
Yeah, so I think the what we always encourage people to do is reach out to myself. I'm always available. You can call my cell phone number. Reach out to me, tell me what you're looking to do, and I can kind of walk you through what the process would look like, the different type of documents that we would look at. But I would say the first step is always connect with somebody. Once I hear your story, once I'm able to actually tell you if we're able to do it or what we can do, I get you in contact with somebody on our Live Oak Express team, and they help you through the entire process from start to closing after 14 days.
Perfect. So no high pressure sales on here once you start talking to me, right? No bait and switch.
Not at all, man. You call me and I can tell you simply what we want to do. And if you don't want to do it, no hard feelings.
Awesome. What are some of the challenges or pain points, if you would, Jordan, around contractors trying to get a small SBA loan or even just a small loan in general?
Yeah. So I kind of track it two ways. So let's start with the working capital side. I think the biggest thing with getting a small dollar loan amount and the pain points that people have is they don't understand the options that are available to them. So the biggest thing that people will do is they'll go into Google, they'll type in $150,000 small business loan. Guess what you get on the first three? You get one business that's going to give you a year term at 25%. Next one's a business that's going to give you a year term at 30, so on and so forth. So they think this is the only option available to them. So I think the big thing is just understanding what your options are when you're looking for working capital. You don't have to go for the first shiny thing. Explore your options and understand really what kind of financing packages are available to you, because I can guarantee you there's an option better for you than the year term at 30%. So I'd say think about that. And then second piece I look at from a small dollar loan amount are lines of credit. So I think everyone in our space should have a line of credit. We know the type of seasonality that people go through. There's a time where you're going to need a line of credit. The biggest pain point that people run into when they approach me for a line of credit is they wait to get a line of credit until they're in a time of need. And I always tell people the easiest time for you to get a line of credit is when you absolutely don't need it. Because if you come to me and you're like, oh, my business is struggling, I can't repay a loan, it's going to be tough for me to get you approved whenever you're in that situation. But if you tell me 6 months before, when you're in your hot summer season and you're throwing off a bunch of cash, you're like, man, I want a line of credit. I'm killing it. Really easy for me to get you approved right there. So I would say biggest pain point is waiting until you're in an absolute time of need and getting it whenever you don't need it and just keeping it open. So I think that's the biggest thing. But also to chime in on that, you don't explore your options with that too. Because a lot of times what people think is when you have a line of credit, they think that you have to pay a monthly fee to keep it open. You don't have to with an SBA line of credit. Once you get it open, you pay some closing costs just to get it closed. But once you have that open, it's open for a 5-year term. You don't have to pay any ongoing cost for it. So I think that's a big misconception with those two.
Thank you, Jordan. And I know, for those that are contractors, this conversation is really a business conversation. This is not a sales conversation. This is not a marketing. This is a strategy, business strategy, having a line of credit access to capital to be able to help you to be able to take advantage of opportunity. Jordan, thank you so much for sharing your time. Janet, once again, thank you so much for setting this up as always, allowing us to give back to the industry with no ask. And so this is just about educating you and helping you and build and grow your business. But Jordan, we could not have one of these sessions without us really getting to know who Jordan is. And so I've got a
Let's
couple
do it.
questions for you. I'm going to rapid fire them at you. First thing
All
comes to
right.
mind, just give me the answer. You ready? All right.
Okay.
A Jeep, like the Jeep you see driving around with no top, is that a truck, a car, or an SUV?
SUV.
Okay. Number two, what is a current book, a current song, or a current artist right now that you would recommend?
Oh, I love Morgan Wallen right now.
Okay, you guys heard it. Hey, and we know that
Shabuzi,
you're
Shabuzi too. The
uh,
bar
uh,
song. That's a hit right now.
hey, and now his country roots are coming out as well. Good stuff. Number three, if you could only pick one thing to eat for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a tough one. Mm, I love I mean you can't live off this. My first thought would be Bluebell vanilla ice cream. I mean, best ice cream in
We
the
can just
world.
stop it right there. I think
Yes, all right. Let's end it there.
yeah, blue. He said specific
Bluebell.
bluebell vanilla. Okay, all right,
You
got
don't
that.
know about it, you got to go and get some tonight.
Bluebell's gonna see an increase in inventory
Yeah.
all of a sudden
I'll send
being
them the
moved.
bill.
Question for you, Jordan. If your life was a documentary and somebody was going to play you in that documentary, who would you pick to star you?
Oh man. Gosh, that's a great one. I'd probably get my little brother to do it. I feel
Oh,
like
hey.
so. I've got a little brother. I'd pick
Okay.
him.
So he stayed inside the family on that one. Nobody knows him better than that. Jordan, hey, thank you so much for playing along in this little session here. We always do. For those that are trying to look to how do I get a hold of Jordan, once again, Live Oak Bank, you heard that Jordan is fully accessible. You got questions about the Blue Collar Success Group, who we are, what we do. Maybe you got business challenges or you're trying to take advantage of some opportunities. You can see we've got great connections in the industry through our vendor partner program, the Elite Buy program. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. We look forward to seeing you guys again. Y'all take care.
Thanks.
Thanks, y'all. See ya.
See ya.
Hey, thank you for hanging out with us and watching the videos. We're super excited to be sharing in time and energy and information with you and with your team. We hope that you found the time super valuable. To learn more about the Blue Collar Success Group, you can find us at our website at www.thebluecollarsuccessgroup.com. That's right, thebluecollarsuccessgroup.com. We look forward to serving you in the next video.